The rain-slicked alley behind O'Malley's bar reeked of stale beer and regret when the thug's boot connected with Victor's ribs, cracking bone like dry autumn leaves. "Stay down. Old man, you think your stars and stripes bullshit scares me?" the kid snarled, his switchblade glinting under the sodium streetlight as Victor, all 72 years of him, coughed blood onto the cracked pavement. His faded army jacket no armor against the fury of a world that had long forgotten men like him. In that frozen heartbeat, as the thug loomed for the final blow, Victor's eyes, storm gray from too many Pacific typhoons, locked on a faded locket around his neck, whispering a name he'd buried deeper than his foxhole graves: Elena. 1 hour later, the ER doors at Mercy General in Joliet, Illinois, burst open like a thunderclap. Bella Vargas stormed in, her Harley keys still clutched in a white-knuckled fist, the scent of exhaust and desperation clinging to her like a second skin. She'd gotten the call mid-shift at the auto shop, her dad, beaten half to death by some lowlife punk in a bar fight that wasn't even his. "Where is he?" she demanded of the triage nurse, her voice a gravelly whip-crack honed from years of fixing busted engines and broken hearts. The nurse pointed down the hall, but Bella was already moving, her combat boots echoing like gunfire, every step a vow to unleash hell on whoever had touched her old man. Victor lay in Bay 3, a patchwork of bruises blooming purple across his leathery skin, an oxygen mask fogging with shallow breaths. He looked smaller than she remembered, like the war had finally caught up and whittled him down to bone and bad memories. Bella dropped into the plastic chair beside him, her calloused hand engulfing his, the one that still bore the ghost of a wedding band long gone. "Dad," she whispered, the word cracking like the first fracture in a windshield. His eyes fluttered open, hazy with morphine and something darker: guilt, maybe, or the weight of secrets too heavy to carry alone. "Bella."
"Mia, eraspet."
His Chicago accent thick as the fog rolling off the Des Plaines River. "It was nothing. Just a stupid kid." "Don't. Save it," she cut him off, her hazel eyes, mirror images of his, flashing with that fire Elena used to call volcanic. She missed her mom. Elena Vargas, the fiery Puerto Rican nurse who'd patched up half the South Side before cancer stole her breath 9 years back. Bella had been 26 then, fresh out of the closet and nursing her own wounds from a botched engagement to a guy named Marco who'd bolted when she confessed she loved women. Elena had held her through the tears, whispering, "Amor no miente. Mia." Love doesn't lie. But Victor? He'd gone silent after that, retreating into his VFW beers and veteran stories that always circled back to the foxholes, never the home front. The doctor, a harried Indian woman with a stethoscope like a noose, interrupted, rattling off stats: 3 cracked ribs, a punctured lung, possible internal bleeding. "He's stable for now, but we need to monitor." "Family history of heart issues." Victor shifted, wincing. "No." "Clean bill." Bella's jaw tightened. "Clean bill. My ass." She'd found the pill bottles in his trailer last Christmas, nitrates for a ticker that ticked like a time bomb. But she let it slide, too raw to fight. Instead, she squeezed his hand harder. "Who was the guy?" "Cop's got a name." "Doesn't matter," Victor muttered, eyes darting to the locket peeking from his hospital gown. It was Elena's, the one he'd worn since her funeral like a penance. Inside, a tiny photo of them on their wedding day in '72, him in crisp fatigues, her in a white lace dress that hugged curves like sin. Bella had always wondered why he never took it off. even in the shower. By dawn, the cops had dragged in the thug, a jittery 19-year-old named Rico with a teardrop tattoo and a rap sheet longer than Lake Michigan's shoreline. Turned out, Victor had stepped between Rico and some drunk mouthing off about illegals talking jobs, his vet's code kicking in like muscle memory. Hero shit, the detective grunted to Bella in the waiting room, handing her a statement form. Your old man's got stones, Bella snorted, signing with a flourish. Stone. Sure. But brittle ones. As Rico was cuffed and led away, he spat toward Victor's room. That veterano's a fraud. I heard him talking about his war bride like she's some ghost. Bet he ain't even got the papers to prove it. The words hung in the air like smoke from a backfired engine. Bella froze, the pen slipping from her fingers. Fraud? Her dad. The guy who'd pinned purple hearts to her nursery wall? She shook it off, chalking it up to punk bullshit. But the seed burrowed deep, twisting roots into the soil of doubts she'd long ignored. Jamie arrived at noon, slipping in like sunlight through chain link. 32. With that effortless grace of a former college soccer star turned high school coach, her auburn curls escaping a ponytail that Bella loved to tug during lazy Sunday mornings. They'd met 3 years back at a Pride rally in Chicago, Bella wrenching on a float truck, Jamie handing out water bottles with a smile that hit like a curveball. You grease monkeys always this pretty? Jamie had teased. And Bella, grease-smeared and guarded, had fired back. Only when we're fixin' your ride, Coach. Now, Jamie wrapped Bella in a hug that smelled of vanilla and fresh-cut grass, her blue eyes scanning the room like she was scouting opponents. How's the stubborn old coot? Breathing? Barely. Bella leaned into her, the exhaustion hitting like a hangover. Jamie's hand traced circles on her back, a silent Morse code of I've got you. That's what Bella loved most, the way Jamie saw through her armor without demanding she drop it. No grand gestures, just steady, like the heartbeat monitor's beep pulling Victor through the night. They took shifts after that. Jamie ran interference with the nurses, charming them with stories of her team's last state championship, while Bella grilled Victor on the details. But he clammed up tighter than a roach motel, as always drifting to that damn locket. On day 3, as the morphine wore thin and the pain sharpened his edges, he finally cracked just a hair. Bells, he said, voice like sandpaper on rust. There's things I never told you. About your ma. Bella's stomach dropped, cold as Lake Superior in January. Like what? That she hated your meatloaf? Billet. Dad. He fumbled the locket open, thumb smudging the photo. This. It ain't just a picture. Elena. She wasn't who you think. The room spun. Bella snatched the locket, the chain cool against her palm. Behind the wedding shot, etched in tiny script to my E. From V. Always yours S. 71. S? Who the hell was S? Victor's face crumpled, tears carving tracks through the stubble. Sophia. Your ma's sister. They were close. Before me. Before everything. Bella's world tilted. Sophia, the aunt she'd never met. The one Victor said died in a car wreck when Elena was pregnant with her. What do you mean? Clothes? He looked away. Out the window where Joliet steel mills belched smoke like old grudges. Lovers. In secret. Back in San Juan. Before Elena came stateside on that nurse scholarship. Sophia. She was the fire to Elena's flame. But when Elena got pregnant with you, Bells. From a fling she regretted, they fought. Sophia left for New York, chasing dreams and distance. Then the crash. Elena blamed herself. Married me quick, like a bandage over a bullet wound. I knew. God help me. I knew from the start. The confession landed like Rico's boot, brutal, unyielding. Bella reeled back, the chair scraping linoleum like a scream. Her mom, the woman who taught her to love fiercely, unapologetically, had hidden this, and her dad, her rock, had played along, burying the truth under layers of silence and service medals. You let me think she was straight-edge perfect, Bella hissed, voice breaking. You let me grow up choking on that lie while I was out here fighting my own damn battles. Victor reached for her, but she jerked away. I did it for you, Mia. To protect. Protect? From what? Love. The word exploded, raw and ragged. Jamie, who'd slipped in quietly, froze in the doorway, her face paling as the pieces clicked. That night, Bella fled to the hospital roof, the Chicago skyline a jagged silhouette against a bruised purple sky. Wind whipped her hair, carrying the distant wail of sirens, Joliet's lullaby. She lit a cigarette, the flame trembling in her fingers, and stared at the locket dangling from her neck. Sophia's initials burned like a brand. Was this why Elena had been so gentle when Bella came out? Not just maternal grace, but echoes of her own hidden heart? Footsteps crunched gravel. Jamie. Of course. She didn't say a word, just slid beside her, shoulder to shoulder, sharing the view and the silence. When Bella finally spoke, it tumbled out in fragments. The aunt who was more than blood, the mom who'd loved in shadows, the dad who'd traded truth for a facsimile family. Jamie's hand found hers, warm and sure. Does it change who you are? Who we are? Bella exhaled smoke, watching it dissolve into the night. No. But it guts me. All those years, I thought I was the family freak. Turns out, we're all just fractured. Jamie turned, cupping Bella's face, thumbs brushing away tears that tasted like salt and betrayal. Fractured don't mean broken, babe. Means we've got cracks where the light gets in. She kissed her then, soft at first, then deeper. An anchor in the storm, a reminder that love, messy as it was, didn't need perfection to hold. Downstairs, Victor dreamed of foxholes and faces, Elena's laugh in a San Juan cafe, Sophia's defiant gaze under neon lights, Bella's tiny fist clutching his dog tag as a toddler. In his fever, he murmured apologies to ghosts. The thug's attack a mere bruise compared to the wounds he'd inflicted himself. By week 2, Victor was shuffling the halls with a walker, Bella at his elbow, grudging. But there. The cops closed Rico's case as self-defense gone wrong, but Bella couldn't shake the thug's parting shot. Fraud. It gnawed at her, fueling late-night Google dives into Puerto Rican archives, yellowed news clippings scanned from microfilm at the library. What she found shattered the last illusions. Sophia hadn't died in a crash. She'd vanished, poof, into the underground scene of 70s Greenwich Village. A poet and activist who'd penned manifestos on queer love under a pseudonym, S. Rivera. Elena's letters, unearthed in a dusty archive box, were folded like prayers. Mi amor. Forgive me for choosing safety over us. The baby grows, but my heart stays in your ink-stained hands. Vino's got. He knows and he promises silence. But I ache for you. Always. Victor's lie wasn't just omission, it was erasure. He told Bella the crash story to shield Elena from scandal, from the whispers that could have cost her nursing license in conservative 70s Chicago. But in doing so, he'd erased Sophia's life, her loves, her legacy, leaving Bella to inherit a ghost story instead of a family tree with branches bold enough to bend. The confrontation came on a drizzly October afternoon, leaves pasting the parking lot like regrets. Bella marched into Victor's room, Jamie trailing like a shadow, her quiet strength the only thing keeping Bella from exploding. Victor was packing his duffel, metals clinking like accusations. "You lied about Aunt Sophia," Bella said. No preamble. Slapping printouts onto the bed. "She didn't die. She lived loud, free, loving women like I do. And Mom loved her back." "You buried that to play house." Victor's shoulders sagged, the duffel zipper stalling mid-pull. "Bells. No. You don't get to your way out." Her voice rose, echoing off sterile walls. A nurse peeked in, then retreated. "You let Mom grieve alone. Let me think I was the only one twisted up inside. What if I'd known? What if Sophia had been there, showing me it's okay to love like that without apology?" Jamie's hand grazed Bella's arm, a tether. Victor sank onto the bed, head in hands. "I was scared. Hija. Back then. Queers got locked up. Or worse. Elena. She wanted you safe. Normal. I thought marrying her made it right, gave her a shield. But I see now. I stole her truth. Stole yours." The room thickened with unsaid years, Victor's own buried doubts. The way he'd eyed the pride flags on Bella's truck with a mix of pride and ache, Elena's final days, whispering to him about Sophia's latest chapbook, mailed anonymously from the village. "Burn them if you must," she'd said. "But tell Bella someday. Let her know love wins wars too." Bella's anger cracked, tears spilling hot. "Someday was yesterday, Dad. That thug didn't break you, the lie did." He looked up, eyes mirroring hers, storm gray meeting hazel fury. "Then fix me. Like you fix those engines. Teach this old dog." Jamie stepped forward, her voice soft but steel-edged. "It's not just on her, Victor. Family's a rebuild, not a solo job." She glanced at Bella, love in the curve of her smile. "We've got the tools." In the weeks that followed, the healing was jagged, like welding warped metal. Victor moved into Bella and Jamie's bungalow on the edge of town, a fixer-upper with creaky floors and a backyard fire pit where stories finally breathed free. Evenings blurred into confessions, Victor admitting he'd burned Elena's letters out of fear, only to regret it when Bella's first girlfriend shattered her heart. "I saw Elena in you then," he said over beers one night, the fire crackling like artillery. "Fierce. Unbreakable. Wish I'd said it sooner." Bella traced the locket, now hers, feeling Sophia's ghost warm under her thumb. She wrote to the village address from the clippings, a long shot that paid off in a package. Sophia's chapbook, shadows in saffron, inscribed for Elena's fire, passed to kin. Love endures Asar. Inside, poems of stolen kisses in rain-slicked alleys, of sisters bound by more than blood. Bella read them aloud to Victor and Jamie, her voice steadying with each line. The words a bridge across decades. The thug's attack faded to a scar, a reminder that violence comes in fists and falsehoods alike. Rico. In juvie counseling, Even sent a letter, scrawled apology. Sparked by Victor's courtroom testimony. Kids got rage like I had in 52. Needs fixing. Not cages. Bella delivered it personally. Chains rattling as she passed the visitor glass. Hate don't heal, she told him. Truth does. Christmas came wrapped in tinsel and tentative peace. The three of them, Victor, Bella, Jamie, decked the tree with Elena's ornaments and Sophia's reprinted poems pinned like stars. As snow dusted Joliet's silos, Bella pulled Jamie onto the porch swing, their breaths mingling in the cold. Think Mom's watching? Smiling. Jamie nuzzled her neck. With Sophia, probably critiquing our tacky lights. Laughter bubbled up, warm as mulled wine. Inside, Victor hung the locket on the tree open, photo facing out. To the women who saved me, he toasted. Glass raised. All of them. Bella clinked hers. Heartful. Lies had cracked them open. But in the fractures, light poured in fierce. Unyielding. American as apple pie and backroad anthems. Love, turned out, didn't just endure. It rebuilt. The winter thawed into a muddy spring. Joliet awakening with the grunt of factories and the honk of Canada geese arrowing north. Bella's days blurred at the shop, torquing bolts on F-150s, her hands black with grease that no amount of lava soap could fully scour. But the nights? Those belonged to Jamie. To the slow unraveling of defenses in their queen bed. Sheets tangled like whispered promises. Jamie's touch was a language Bella was still learning, gentle where Bella was storm, patient where she was thunder. You're not your dad's shadow, Jamie murmured one April evening, tracing the rose tattoo that bloomed fierce across Bella's collarbone. You're the whole damn garden. Bella arched into her, the words sinking deeper than fingers. But shadows lingered. Victor's integration was a work in progress. He'd taken up wood carving in the garage, whittling foxhole figurines that he sold at the VFW flea market. Keeps the ghosts at bay, he'd grunt. Sawdust dusting his flannel like fresh snow. Yet Bella caught him staring at Sophia's chapbook, pages dog-eared, as if willing the ink to rewrite history. It was May, with lilacs bruising the air purple, when the past clawed back, uninvited, ugly. A letter arrived, postmarked Greenwich Village, the envelope crisp as conscience. Bella slid it open over coffee, Jamie peering over her shoulder. Inside, a typed note from the New York Public Library's LGBTQ archive, forwarding a query from a researcher named Dr. Lena Torres. Dear Vargas, in cataloging Sofia Rivera's papers for our oral history project, we uncovered correspondence referencing your mother,
Elena Vargas, née Moral.
Sofia speaks of a sister love profound and pivotal, severed by circumstance in 1971. If you're open, we'd value your insights for closure and celebration of her legacy. Enclosed, a recording of Sofia's last interview, 2018. Warmly, dear Taurus. Bella's coffee went cold. Sofia alive? No. The date stamped finality. Passed at 68 from complications of AIDS. Her final years spent mentoring queer youth in the village. But the recording. A voice from the ether. They played it that night. Victor included. The three of them huddled around Bella's laptop like conspirators. Sofia's voice crackled through static, rich, accented, laced with the rhythm of bomba drums. Elena was my North Star. Mi vida. We met at 15. Stealing smokes behind the cathedral. dreaming of a world where girls could love without priests' scowls. She chose motherhood. Safety married that soldier boy, Victor. God bless his haunted soul. But she wrote me every full moon. Letters like lifelines. The child's eyes are yours, she'd say. Fierce. Unafraid. I like to think that fire lives on. Victor's breath hitched. A sob swallowed hard. She knew about the baby? Elena's fling. It was before us. A mistake. She called it. But Sophia. She forgave. The recording hummed on. Forgiveness? Love like ours doesn't tally scores. Just is. Bella paused it. The room heavy as humidity before a storm. Dad. You said Mom regretted it, the fling. That it was why she married you fast. He nodded. Slow. Eyes on his callous palms. Yeah. Some tourist kid from the States. Spring break 70. Elena was wild back then. Post-high school. Nursing school on the horizon. She told me one night. Over rum on our honeymoon. It was a spark. Victor. Not a fire. But Sophia. That was the blaze. I figured if I could be steady, she'd forget the heat. Jamie. Ever the bridge. Leaned forward. Did she? Forget. Victor's laugh was bitter chicory. Hell no. She'd hum old boleros when she thought I wasn't listening, Sophia's favorites. And that locket? Sophia gave it to her on the docks. Before Elena boarded the ship to Chicago. Wear my heart, she said. I kept it after. Like holding a piece of what she lost. Bella's chest tightened. A vice of empathy and rage. You could have told me. Let me know I wasn't alone in this. This loving women thing. Mom's letters, they're in the archive too. Dear. Torres had included access codes. Bella spent the next weekend devouring them. Digital scans of Elena's script. Looping like vines, Sophie. The baby's kicking like a mule. Victor's kind. But his touch is cotton where yours is flame. Chicago's gray. But your words color it gold. Promise me Bella will know freedom. No cages. No lies. The archive trip was Jamie's idea. A road trip to the city. Victor in tow. His walker swapped for a cane carved from oak. They rolled into Manhattan on a sweltering June Friday. The Harley purring under Bella's grip while Jamie and Victor followed in the old Ford pickup. The city hit like a fever dream. Yellow cabs honking anthems. Steam rising from grates like ghosts ascending. Dear. Torres met them at the library's special collections. A wiry Latina in her 50s. With silver-streaked braids and eyes that sparkled like Elena's. You look just like her, Lena said. Hugging Bella like kin. Sophia's fire. Elena's grace. The reading room smelled of aged paper and possibility. They spread the letters across the oak table. Victor's fingers trembling as he traced Elena's eyes. Poems to Sophia's draft. Crossed out lines bleeding passion. Your wedding ring mocks the moon we shared / but in dreams. I slip it off. Reclaim the curve of your hip. Jamie squeezed Bella's knee under the table. A silent breathe. Victor read aloud. Voice steadying. She was brave. Your ma. Braver than me in any trench. By evening. Tears had dried to salt tracks. Lena led them to the village, Stonewall's shadow. Rainbow flags snapping like applause. They dined at a lesbian-owned cafe. Pozole steaming with chiles and stories. Victor raised a glass. To the women who wrote the real wars. And one. Back in Joliet. Summer thickened the air with cicada symphonies. Bella and Jamie's love deepened in the dappled light. Picnics by the river, where Jamie's laughter chased Bella's doubts. Midnight drives with windows down. Springsteen blasting Thunder Road as anthems to escape. But fracture lines spiderwebbed. Victor's health faltered. A mild heart episode landing him back in Mercy General. Karma's a bitch, he joked from the bed. But his eyes begged forgiveness. Bella sat vigil. Locket around her neck like talisman. You saved her, Dad. From scandal. From alone. But secrets. They poison slow, he nodded. For dripping like penance. Then purge it. Tell me about you two. How do you know Jamie was the one? Bella smiled, glancing at Jamie dozing in the chair. She fixed my heart without a wrench. Showed me love's not a battlefield, it's home. Autumn painted the mills rust gold. Leaves crunching underfoot like confessions. The family lie. Once a chasm. Narrowed to a bridge. Victor joined a VFW queer ally group, awkward at first. His stories of 50s repression met with nods from younger vets. Your generation fights different wars, he'd say. But the foxholes? Say mud. Bella's high point came at the shop's holiday party. A backyard bash with lanterns strung like fireflies. She pulled Victor aside. Under the oaks. I wrote a letter to Sophia's foundation. Donating Mom's letters for the archive. Keeping her story alive. Pride swelled his chest. Good. Let him shine. But betrayal's echo lingered. Alohum. One November night. Rifling Victor's trailer for tax docs. Bella found it. A hidden box. Yellowed photos spilling like shrapnel. Elena and Sophia. Young and electric, arms linked on a San Juan beach. Eyes locked in a gaze that needed no words. Tucked beneath a letter. Victor's hand. Dated post Elena's death. Bella. If you find this, know your ma loved deepest where society feared. I buried it to protect. But truth's the only purple heart that matters. Forgive an old fool. Love. Dad. She confronted him at dawn. Over diner pancakes. Why hide it? After everything. Victor's fork paused. Cowardice. Mia. Thought you'd hate me more. Bella slid the letter back. Hate's easy. Forgiving. That's the gut punch. She covered his hand. But we're past it. All of us. Jamie's proposal came unscripted. On a frost-kissed December hike along the I&M Canal, towpath ghosts whispering of pioneers. She dropped to one knee in the mud. Ring glinting. A simple gold band etched with roses. Marry me. Bella Vargas. Let's build that garden together. Tears froze on Bella's lashes. Yes. Hell yes. Victor. Waiting with thermoses of coffee. Enveloped them both. Your mod be dancin'. Sophia too. The wedding was spring 26. Backyard vows under blooming dogwoods. Joliet's Mills humming benediction. Victor walked Bella down the aisle of wildflowers. His cane tapping rhythm. Proud of you. Kid. Of us. As rings exchanged. Bella whispered to Jamie. No lies. Just us. Always, Jamie breathed. In the afterglow. With cake smeared and laughter echoing. Victor slipped away to the fire pit. Locket in hand. He tossed it in not to burn, but to warm. Sparks rose like prayers, carrying Elena and Sophia skyward. The thugs attack. The family lie, they were chapters closed. Scars that mapped a stronger story. In America's heartland grit, love had rewritten the ending. Not perfect, but profoundly true. Summer 26 baked Joliet in a skillet of heat. The Des Plaines swelling lazy and brown. Bella and Jamie's honeymoon was a cross-country ramble. Harley east to the Atlantic, then north to the village, paying homage to Sophia's haunts. They traced her steps. The cafe where she'd scribbled first poems. The bar where Stonewall's fire first flickered. Feels like coming home to strangers, Bella said. Hand in Jamie's as they lit candles at a rainbow memorial. Strangers who made us possible, Jamie replied. Her kiss salt-tinged from ocean spray. Back home, life revved forward. Jamie's team clinched regionals. Her whoops echoing through the bungalow as Bella cheered from the bleachers. Grease traded for face paint. Victor thrived in his woodshop. Carvings now including intertwined figures, subtle nods to love's unspoken. He even dated a widow from the VFW, Rosa, with a laugh like Elena's and stories of her own hidden youth. But peace, Bella learned, was an engine that needed tuning. The call came in August. Humid air thick as foreboding. Taurus. Voice tight. Bella. We've digitized everything. But there's more. A journal, Sophia's. From 71. Mailed to Elena. Returned unopened. It mentions you. The package arrived express, leather-bound. Pages warped from Atlantic crossings. Bella waited for sunset. The three of them on the porch swing, Victor with his pipe, Jamie with iced tea, Bella with trembling hands. Sophia's script spilled secrets. Elena, if this reaches you, know I understand. The baby's due soon. I've dreamed her face. Fierce as your storm. Victor's a good man. Steady ship in choppy seas. But if she seeks me one day, tell her, love like ours isn't sin, it's sacrament. She'll carry it in her blood. That wild grace. Write back. Or burn this. Yours eternal. As Victor's pipe went cold. She knew. About you being her spark. Bella closed the journal. Heart pounding like pistons. It's why Mom was so chill when I came out. Not shock recognition. Jamie leaned in. Full circle. Fall deep in. Leaves a carpet of crimson regrets. Victor's health dipped again, arrhythmia. The doc said. Stress from old wounds reopening. Bella drove him to appointments. Their talks filling the cab like exhaust. Regrets a thief. Dad. Stole years from us. He nodded. Window fogging with breath. But look what we reclaimed. The real high tide crashed Thanksgiving Rico. Out on parole. Showed at the VFW. Clean shaven. As clear. He cornered Victor. Heard about your girl. The wedding. Respect that. And sorry, don't cut it. But I was drowning then. Your words in court pulled me up. Victor clapped his shoulder. Old soldier to young recruit. Wars end when you choose peace. Bella watched from the bar. Jamie's hand warm in hers. Redemption's messy, she murmured. Like us, Jamie grinned. Winter wrapped them gentle. Snow muffling the world's roar. Bella's 30th 35? Time blurred, passed with a shop party. Victor gifting a carved ring box. For the loves that endure. Inside. A note proud. No lies left.
Bút bi kịch sa đô the có hậu.
Spring 27 brought Victor's decline. Heart too scarred from Korea. From carrying ghosts. He faded in mercy general. The same room where truth first broke. Bella and Jamie alternated vigils, Rosa weaving in with stories that coaxed smiles. On a lilac-scented May morning, as sun pierced blinds like grace notes, Victor gathered them. Bells. Jamie. Tell Rosa I loved her laugh. And you two keep the fire. Elena and Sophia. They're waitin'. Dancin'. His hand went slack. Monitors flatlining to elegy. Bella collapsed into Jamie. Sobs wrenching like wrenches. He fixed it. At the end, the funeral was VFW rites, taps echoing over graves dotted with flags. Bella spoke, voice steady. My dad fought wars abroad and at home. Lost some battles to silence, to fear. But he won the peace. Taught me love's the real hero. After. At the wake, Pozole bubbling. Springsteen low Rico slipped in. Awkward in a button-down. He mentored me. Ma'am. Said family ain't blood, it's choice. Bella nodded. Grief cracking to gratitude. He'd like that. Months blurred to healing haze. Bella threw herself into the shop. Expanding to custom bikes, rose-etched frames for queer riders. A nod to her ink. Jamie coached summer camps. Her freckles blooming under sun. They adopted a mutt Scrappy. Loyal naming her Sophie. One anniversary eve. Under dogwoods heavy with memory. Jamie pulled Bella to the fire pit. Remember the thug? The lie? That was our origin story, cracked us open. Bella stoked the flames. Locket now a pendant warm against skin. Yeah. But we rebuilt stronger. As embers glowed. Sophia's words echoed. Love endures. And Joliet's steel heart. Amid America's vast, flawed canvas, Bella and Jamie wove their thread. Kitsch tin faded to cam suck steady. Langman rooted deep. Nan Van in every scar. The veteran rested. His daughter risen, truth her shield. Love her endless road.